The goal is to get a good deal done with the reality that there could be work stoppage, but it would be a first time that we would see this in the WNBA.
Where do you guys all meet? Do you meet online? Do you meet in person? Like, I'm starting to go into my panic mode because it's getting to January 9th. I'm like, are you meeting tomorrow? We will be strong. Nneka 2028.
I freaking love that woman. Can we be friends, Nneka?
Attention. The party is about to commence.
Welcome to the party.
What's up, party people? I'm Julie Foudy.
And I am Abby Wambach.
Abs.
What's up?
How is your...
I'm just feeling a little excited. We're getting close to the holidays. I love the last couple weeks of December because there's less work, there's more family, there's more coziness. It's getting a little colder here in Southern California, so it feels cozy.
I know. I had to put my sweatshirt on. I was like, I'm freezing. I love that I'm freezing.
So good.
It's so hot. I know. The kids are home. Everyone's home. So
Jules,
nice.
how was your weekend?
It was good. Izzy's home, so she got home and she was like, "Why are there no decorations up?" I was like, "Shit, I know. I've been busy. Okay,
Dropping the ball.
Yeah. So we spent our weekend doing some decorations, which was really fun, and putting lights up because I won't hire that out. I refuse to.
Are you kidding me?
No, I
Are you like on a ladder, like stapling the lights up into your house?
I hang them on my little hooks, or my nails, and this is the thing. I only got through part of it because I ran out of time yesterday. But I get them up. You know, you test the lights beforehand because they're all kind of connected.
Sure.
But like one, and they were fine. And then I get them up and I turn them on, and the whole strand, like half the strand, is off. I was like. So then I spent another hour trying to like put new fuses in, find which one. You're like flicking everyone. How many people have done this? But I refuse, Abby, to get the professionals because it drives me nuts because they're so perfect. Mine are all janky and crooked, and I love that.
I like that about you. I like that about you.
And Izzy and Declan are like, why don't we just hire people for this? I was like, we are not. You wash your own car. You put up your own lights. You hire people, don't you?
Oh my God, you make them wash their own car too? I love this. You're like so hardcore.
Wait, do you hire people to put up your lights?
Of course we do. Are you kidding me? I value my time. I value my time. And also, I will say this. We hire people to do the outside, and Glennon does the inside. She is the elfiest elf that ever elfed, and came home with 2-point setas yesterday. Just like and in his
she starts in like when? October,
the day after Thanksgiving. But here's the thing: my family is constantly like 1 year. This is true. This is a true story. During COVID, our family was feeling pretty down, and so we were like, you know what? It was in the middle of June. We were like, we're going to have Christmas in the middle of June. So we brought out all of our decorations. We decorated the whole house. We did the whole thing. We got the kids a couple of presents each. We had we went through the exact, because they were like, we need something.
Something.
It was amazing.
Oh my gosh, I've never heard that story. That's so good.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's so good. I might just try that in the middle of June when I'm thinking the same thing.
Well, ever since then, I have to be like, no. No. We cannot do that. We want to make sure that the Christmas time is special.
Right.
They're like, they think that I'm the Scrooge or something.
I'm very excited because we have Nneka Ogwumike on the pod, WNBA star, president of the Players Association and their union, and obviously a lot to get to with CBA and this new global league called Project B. But first, let's get this party started with the highlights and headlines you'll want to celebrate this week in women's sports. Our party starter is brought to you by Ally, the bank that is your ally. First up over the weekend, Abs, this was huge.
What is it?
Lindsay, let's talk Winter Olympics for a little bit, shall we?
Oh, fun.
Lindsay Vonn, who, by the way, is 41 years old. She retired in 2019. So she had been retired about 5 years when in 2024 she said, guess what? I'm going to come back and try and compete in the Milano Cortina Olympic Games in 2026. So, and crazy enough, Cortina is the venue where Vonn has recorded the most World Cup victories. Actually, 12 total.
Nice.
And it's commonly known as Vonn's living room. Fun fact.
That's hilarious.
I know. And she's racing with titanium implants in her right knee, but that doesn't bother her because she's in her living room. And on Friday, she won the World Cup downhill for her 83rd World Cup win. And it was her first World Cup win since returning from that retirement. How cool is that?
Unbelievable.
And she won it in almost 1 second, 0.98 seconds, which is an enormous margin in downhill skiing.
Did you watch her on the podium just break down? And all of us ex-athletes felt like all of that emotion. It's like so real, so real.
Right. And after being retired for 5 years at 41 and doing this.
It's amazing.
Okay. And then Saturday in the downhill the next day, she got the silver, which is amazing as well. A lot of people were wondering, could she go back for back and two for two? And it looked like she actually might. And then the repeat, how dare you? The repeat was spoiled by Germany's rising star, Emma Eicher, who ultimately took the gold in that one, but Lindsay got silver. And so let's go, Lindsay Vonn. We are cheering you on. You got this.
Okay, and then Jules, we want to turn to our women's ice hockey, the rivalry series. I feel kind of surprised by this, but Team USA beat Canada 4-1 over the weekend for a clean 4-game sweep of women's ice hockey rivalry series. Jules,
Yes.
The Americans outscored Canada 24-7 across the 4 games, with Hillary Knight and Abby Murphy leading all the scoring with 5 goals apiece. And after losing the 2022 Olympic final to Canada, U.S. looked determined to get that gold back. I mean, Jules, can you believe
this
that?
Is huge.
It's a big deal that they've won by such big margins. Do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel nervous. It makes me feel nervous.
Well, the word I was reading, and we're going to talk to Kendall Coyne leading into this Olympics, the captain of the U.S. women's ice hockey team. So we're going to get the scuttle on this. But that the first 2 games, it was a 4-game series, as you just said, the U.S. swept. First 2 games wasn't Canada's A team. But the last 2 games was supposed to be their A team. And they still crushed. So... Wow. I'm hopeful. And as we know, like Canada has given heartbreak after heartbreak. The Canadian ice hockey team, it has won 5 Olympic gold medals of the 7 out there that they've had in women's ice hockey. The U.S. won the other 2. So this is a huge rivalry. And hopefully that means gold for the gals, for the U.S. gals.
Let's go.
Right.
We'll be watching that in a couple months. Really can't wait. On to the NCAA Women's Volleyball Final Four is set finally. And you guys, Glennon and I watched this weekend. We watched Nebraska play Texas A&M. And Texas A&M took the first set. And so Nebraska was like, they were down.
Which never happens, by the way. Nebraska lost 1 set in all of Big Ten play.
Yeah, our producer, Asia, texted me, and she said, Nebraska's down. And so when we turned it on, they were down 2-1. And so then, because Glennon knows that we had the Nebraska coach on, and so we were rooting for Nebraska. And so Texas A&M was just like, they were crushing, they were killing. And then in the fourth set, Nebraska comes back and then ties the game 2-2. And so then we go on, and by the way, folks, this is at a sold out arena in Nebraska, at Nebraska's home. Texas shocks the volleyball world and beats the number 1 overall seed, Nebraska, ending the Cornhuskers.
Texas A&M, to be clear, because the Texas fans
sorry,
are like,
Texas A&M, ending the Cornhuskers 33-0 season by beating them in Lincoln with a 3-2 win. the win sends the Aggies
5
to the
sets.
Final Four, and this is the first time in program history they've made it to the Final Four. And then in the other side of the tournament, Texas, also a number 1 seed, gets toppled just hours after the Aggies pulled off the upset of the year. This is like, it's just incredible how the parity of women's volleyball that's happening, and the popularity watching these games, and how
So fun.
many
It's so
people
fun.
are at these women volleyball
Yeah.
games. I'm just like so excited. So the number
Yeah.
1 team, Texas, was ousted on its home court as the 4-time NCAA champion. Texas fell to Wisconsin 3-1.
Right.
Now-
Didn't even take 5 sets. They got them in 4. Yeah.
Exactly. The national semifinals are Thursday in Kansas City. Texas A&M will meet number 1 seed Pitt. That's going to be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Neither team has won a national championship, though Pitt would be making its 5th consecutive appearance in the Final Four. And in the second semifinal, the number 1 seed Kentucky faces number 3 seed Wisconsin, and that'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Women's volleyball, you have my heart. Like, let's go. Let's go. I'm going to watch these games.
I really wish we could go watch that in Kansas City. It's just such a hard time of the year for everyone, but that would be so fun. Okay. Also, we wanted to give you a quick update on the latest with the Trinity Rodman NWSL issues going on. Big news happened on Thursday of last week with the NWSL board convening to vote in actually this new high impact player rule. Mm-hmm. And this rule essentially allows for teams to pay selected stars, and the criteria is still to be determined, but they talk about these star players so that they can pay them above the salary cap, i.e. Trinity Rodman. Yep. So let me just quickly rewind. In early December, the Washington Spirit made an offer to Trinity Rodman, averaging over $1 million annually, with higher pay kind of backloaded into the deal with this 4-year deal. It would have made her the highest paid player in NWSL history. Obviously, they're trying to keep her, the Washington Spirit, here in the United States. Well, Commissioner Jessica Berman rejected it on December 4th. She vetoed it, citing it violated the salary cap and threatened league parity. The NWSL-PA, the Players Association, filed a grievance on Rodman's behalf after that, asserting that that vetoed contract does not violate any standing league rules. And Megan Burke, the executive director, said if NWSL can interfere with the free agency rights of Trinity Rodman, they can do it to anyone, and we won't stand by that. The league has until December 17th to actually respond to that grievance. But in the meantime, the NWSL board convened on that Thursday, December 11th, to vote in that new high impact player rule. So that would allow Washington Spirit to pay more to Trinity Rodman. But we are now in a holding pattern as the NWSL-PA and the players are reviewing that new HIP rule. Meanwhile, there is no response to the grievance filed originally by the NWSL-PA, and they have until December.
I got a quick question. How do they select star players above the salary cap? How do they determine that?
Current national team caps, not old ones. So recent national team caps, not just U.S. national team, of course. Finalists on the Ballon d'Or list, which is the top player, female FIFA Player of the Year award list as well. So they fall into those type of categories, and commercially as well. And that is still a little vague. But that is what people are reporting out right now.
Cool.
But of course, they need the players to give their feedback on that before they can move forward with that. So that we will obviously be talking about more. We'll try and get Megan Burke, executive director of the Players Association, on the podcast soon as well, as soon as any of that breaks.
I want that. I want her on this week when that breaks. Let's try to get her on, Jules. It's so good.
For sure. That is your party starter, and thanks to Ally for sponsoring the segment. As we know, Ally is more than a bank, and their Do It Right approach helps customers unlock their economic potential and guides their efforts as a leading sponsor in women's sports. Just like us, Ally believes that when women in sports win, we all have a reason to party. Ally Bank, member FDIC.
Okay, Jules. It is time for something brand new on Welcome to the Party.
Oh.
Welcome to the draft party presented by Shipped. Now, since this is our first ever draft party, here's the idea. Each episode, we will take a theme, break it into categories, and then draft our top picks, just like a fantasy draft. But for the chaos and joys of basically everyday life, and we'll each take turns choosing our starting lineups of favorites, hot takes, memorable moments, and whatever else fits. And because we're in the middle of the holiday season, we're kicking things off with a holiday draft. Okay? So we're going to do movie-specific holiday draft.
Okay.
And we're going to get into it. And I just want to say a huge thanks to our friends at Shipped, from groceries to decor, gifts, and everything in between. Shipped saves you time with same-day delivery for your favorite local and national stores like Albertsons, Michael's, Target, and PetSmart. Basically, holiday magic delivered. Now, Jules, we are going to, you kind of understand the rules. We're going to do this draft party, and we're going to kick off round one. We're each building our top 3 holiday movies.
Oh, 3.
Okay. Yeah. Top 3 holiday movies, whatever deserves a spot on your team. Can you give me your first draft into your fantasy holiday movie draft?
Yeah. Easy.
What is it?
And The Sound of Music. The
Sound of Music.
Alive. With the sound of music. La da da da.
Hey, Jules.
Yes. I don't even know if it's a holiday movie, but I don't care because that's what I watch during the holidays. And I know every song. Oh, so good. I love Julie Andrews.
That's so sweet. Do you watch Christmas movies? Do you watch movies? Because this is not usually a top pick candidate for people for a first round draft pick.
Yeah, we watch the normal ones, which will be on my list. But I love this, and they have obviously their Christmas festivities and Sound of Music. It's so good. How can you not? How do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you catch a cloud and pin
we got to keep
down?
going. My first fantasy pick is, of course, and I think a lot of people will agree, Elf. Like, come on.
Oh,
Elf.
that's my second one.
Come
That's my
on.
second. Yes.
Elf is the way to go. Let's go. Our family, the amount of quotes that we call back during the year to that movie is the best.
Agreed.
Do you want to go with your second
Agreed.
pick?
Mine was Elf too. What's your second?
Oh, Elf. Okay. My second will be
I love myself some Will
Actually.
Ferrell.
Love Actually. Have you ever seen it?
Yes, I forgot about that one. That would have been in my top one.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's so good. That's my
And
favorite.
it's so cozy.
That's my favorite. It's so cozy. It's so
good.
cute. Okay, I'm
3.
blanking on the name of this.
Oh, The Holiday.
Yes,
The Holiday.
Yeah,
Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet.
that was a good
So
one. I was
good.
just watching that the other day. I was like, oh, this is so good. Okay, so that's
that
my
was going to
order.
be a mine. That's going to be mine. But I'm gonna now, because you've chosen it, I'm going to go 4 Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. Have you ever seen this one?
I haven't seen that in years, but I love those
so
two.
Good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay, that's the wrap up for our very first draft party, folks, presented by Shipped. And don't forget, this is just the beginning. We'll be drafting all sorts of things over the next few episodes. So for the best moments of the year, to the habits we're taking into 2026, I have a lot to talk about the habits. And a huge thank you to Shipped for helping us kick off this new series in the middle of the busiest time of the year. Save even more during the holidays with Shipped's exclusive savings event, Season of Savings, happening now until December 28th. Shop tons of deals, including member-exclusive savings all season long. Terms apply. Download the app or order now at shipped.com. That's SHIPT.com. This episode of Welcome to the Party is brought to you by Ally Financial. We love that Ally is more than just a bank. They've got this do-it-right approach that shows up everywhere.
That's right, because Ally actually helps customers unlock their economic potential, all while powering the growth of athletes, fandom, and leagues across women's sports. And as we know, it's been anchored by a historic commitment to increasing visibility by, get this, spending equally on men's and women's sports media.
The best.
Ally truly does it right. And they've had official partnerships across the NWSL, WNBA, USGA, unrivaled, and drumroll please, beyond that, now that includes this podcast too. So welcome to the party, Ally.
And Ally consistently earns accolades as the best online bank, praised for its intuitive app, no monthly fees, smooth navigation, and competitive interest rates, even without minimum balances required.
And here's what we truly love. The same way as Abby was talking about that Ally puts customers first in banking, they put women first in sports. And they are literally making history with equal spending on men's and women's sports media. And that's why they're the perfect partner for Welcome to the Party. Visibility, equity, empowerment, it all connects, party people.
Whether you're here for the show or looking for a bank that truly has your back, Ally's got you covered. Ally, the bank that's your ally. Ally Bank, member FDIC. Jules, all right, team. Everybody got to gather in. Because I still say team everywhere I go. I actually say to my family, Glennon's like, are we serious here? I'm like, yes, bring it in. Come on.
Team.
Okay. Because once an athlete, always an athlete. And prioritizing my health and wellness continues to be important, right? So recently I've been focusing on improving my energy, especially with the holidays and all the plans, Jules, and the events, blah, 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 blah. So I started drinking IM8's Daily Ultimate Essentials. So good. Now that I've been taking it regularly, I'm actually noticing a shift. My energy is more consistent throughout the day. IM8 is my go-to because it squeezes the benefits of 16 supplements into one drink.
Yeah,
that's one,
it's
Jules.
insane.
It's so good. And as someone
great.
Exactly. And as somebody who has once had a backpack full of protein powders, vitamins, and emotional support banana, this is a huge win. It is co-founded by David Beckham and crafted with insights from experts at Mayo Clinic, Cedars-Sinai, and a former NASA chief scientist. It's packed with 92 nutrient-rich ingredients, vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, CoQ10, MSM, and all the pre, pro, and postbiotics. Basically, Jules, everything your body wants, minus the ice bath.
Hallelujah.
Plus,
Gosh.
It's vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, and NSF certified. So everything in it has been tested thoroughly. Start feeling your best every day with IM8. Head to im8health.com/WTTP. Use code WTTP and you'll get a free welcome kit, 5 free travel sachets, plus 10% off your order. That's im8health.com/WTTP, code WTTP. These statements haven't been evaluated by the FDA. This product isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Abby, as we know, the holidays can be chaotic. Gosh, I just got my decorations up and it's like mid-December. Izzy always wants them up by like October. I'm like, settle down, Izzy. Anyways, how many times have you agreed to host the family, which we do, and then you look around and you're like, wait a second, my nephew and niece are coming too. We don't have enough beds. We got to figure out beds. And so you have to order, more things. Well, Wayfair is your place to get all of that. Yes, they have furniture, but you can definitely, so you can get that fold-up cot from them as well.
Nice.
Or they have beddings and linens to decor from every single room. I just actually got a whole outdoor furniture set from them, which is amazing. Nice. Yeah, because I love to push people outside because I love being outside, and then it doesn't mess up the house. So I was like, if I make it really nice outside where they can sit, then we push them outside. That's more. Amazing. And we can even eat outside. So But what I find amazing is that you can get so many things in one place at Wayfair, and the stuff shows up fast. The delivery is easy, and their customer service is actually amazing. Their follow up, they tell you when it's coming, where you could track it, all those things. I was so impressed with. So my house is holiday ready. And now so am I. I don't know about you, but that makes me feel good. So get last minute hosting essentials, gifts for all your loved ones, and decor to celebrate the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home, every party. I can't wait till they add that into their logo. So thrilled that we get Nneka on the pod because in Nneka we trust with all things.
It's true.
We have been trying to get Nneka on the pod, full disclosure, for a while to discuss all the CBA stuff. And we're extra thrilled because we can also talk about the new venture, Project B, this new global league. And for those of you listeners and party people who are not aware of any or all of this, then fear not. I'm going to do a little table setting before we get Nneka on both fronts. So quickly, the collective bargaining agreement, which we will refer to as the CBA, those negotiations are ongoing with the WNBPA. That's the Players Association, the WNBA Players Association, and of course the league, the WNBA. The current CBA extension is set to expire on January 9th of 2026. And so negotiations are ongoing, of course, for this new longer term deal. And this is their second extension, by the way. And that's important because you may recall the original CBA deadline we've talked about was Halloween in 2025, right? That was extended 30 days with the first extension to December 1st. Now the second extension is another 40 days. It will expire on January 9th into the new year. But the clock is ticking and time is running out. For example, that expansion draft has already been delayed for the incoming two expansion teams, Portland Fire and Toronto Tempo. So they have things on the clock they need to get done before the season happens that are getting delayed, which becomes a problem.
Jules, for every extension, and I want to ask this to Nneka, but for all of these extensions, they're still in constant communication with the players and they're still trying to work it out? And is there more information around, like, are we further along on the process?
We're going to find out. I can't wait to get her on. We're close. Yeah. I know. And the other thing happening in Nneka's world is this new global league called Project B.
Oh, I'm so interested in this. This is so cool.
Yeah, I am too. And Nneka signed with them on November 5th. She became the first player to publicly sign with this new league. And it's set to begin in November 2026, so next year, end of next year, runs through April 2027. So a lot of people were wondering if this would conflict with the WNBA. No, it doesn't. It's primarily going to be in Europe and Asia. It will not cross over with WNBA because it's in their off season. It will cross over with Unrivaled, which is Nafisa Collier's and Brianna Stewart's new venture, and with Athletes Unlimited, which also runs in February as well. So Project B quickly the plan is they're going to host 7 two-week tournaments that happen in cities in Europe and Asia and even possibly Latin America. So 7 two-week tournaments you're traveling to. They will offer players an undisclosed salary plus an equity stake in the league, which is huge. And the reported compensation, Abby, includes annual salaries exceeding $2 million.
Whoa.
Yeah. Some other players who have committed to Project B since Nneka signed on November 5th include Alyssa Thomas, huge name, candidate for MVP with WNBA last year, Jonquel Jones, Jewel Lloyd, Sophie Cunningham, and Kelsey Mitchell. So some huge names.
Yep.
Can't wait to get to all of that. So without further ado, let's get to the party's part. of our party. As we know, Nneka Ogwumike is not just an all-time great on the court. She's one of the most influential voices in women's basketball right now. She's a WNBA MVP, WNBA champion, a 10-time All-Star, and one of the most consistent players the WNBA has ever seen. She has dominated for 13 seasons, y'all, and started every single game. I need to check with her to make sure that is actually true, because that blows my mind. And this conversation is happening at a defining moment in league history.
Yes,
Nneka also just happens to be the president of the WNBA Players Association. And as we know, she's helping guide the league through one of the most important times in its history. As we said off the top, the current CBA is set to expire on January 9th, 2026. So big conversations happening right now that we will get into. And then there's Project B. Nneka was the first player announced as part of Project B, the new global league offering something women athletes rarely see. Not just compensation, but equity. A move that opens the door to bigger conversations about opportunity, ownership, and what the future of women's sports could look like. So today we're talking to Nneka the superstar, Nneka the union president, Nneka the leader navigating change, and of course Nneka the Stanford Cardinal. So from one card to another, I'm especially fired up for this one. Nneka Ogwumike, welcome to the party.
Welcome.
What's up, everybody?
What's
Welcome.
up?
Thank you for
Sorry,
coming on.
that's as party as I'm gonna get.
Yeah, I hear you.
The conversation will be even more party, so I'm excited.
Yes.
How are you? How you holding up?
I'm well. I feel really good. Off season is kind of like my laboratory time, so I
Good word.
really fine tune the details, and I have fun doing a lot of the things you don't get to do in season. Every part of the year calls for a different type of focus, so I'm in full off season mode right now.
Wait, tell me give some examples
So
of that laboratory, what it looks like. Is that the right way to say it?
Laboratory.
That's how Dexter
Laboratory.
says it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I love that show.
Yes, great show. So, for me, it's really kind of like doing a lot of stuff in the strength room, in the weight room, conditioning. I have the pleasure of being, I guess, like having a SNC coach. It's Susan King and another Stanford gal. So,
Yep.
every year it's fun because
That's strength and conditioning, SNC. Yes.
yeah, sorry, my bad. Strength conditioning. But every year it's fun because as you get older, you kind of want to switch things up, and you want to change your daily vitamins. So, I've been on the track, which is fun. I've been doing more swimming. I do cool workouts, but I'm actually swimming more now, which I enjoy.
Oh,
That's amazing.
So-
easier on your joints.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I think it's also kind of a nice way to figure out what you like doing. So when you're done playing, you're like, oh, I can keep doing this, So, just testing things out a little bit. I do a lot. I'm like into Pilates heavy. So I do a lot of Pilates too.
Pilates are hard.
So hard
Yeah.
for me.
Hard,
Ouch.
so hard.
Ouch.
I can hear it.
I like rub my stomach when I go.
Oh my gosh.
It hurts so good.
Oh, and it's
Okay.
like the littlest of movements, and you're like,
Oh my
what?
gosh.
Why does
Yes.
this hurt so much?
It's so hard.
It is.
And maybe you might feel differently in your retirement, but you guys went to Stanford. I think Stanford people are different. I think you guys are
We
cut
are.
differently.
We are.
I
We're
think
built
you guys
different.
are like, when I finished playing sports, I was like, I am done suffering. And you guys are like, actually, I'm going to just go do ouchies, the most suffering thing called Pilates.
Yeah, I don't
Amazing.
know. It's just a thing, I guess. Maybe it is the Stanford in me.
When I was an athlete, I always worked on my weaknesses the most during the off season and just hammered the strengths during season. And it's true that you need to have like this freedom to do other things so that when you get back into season, you can lock in. What other than like sport, like what's something else that you participate in that you don't get to do during the season, during the off season? Like what's like your go-to thing?
Ooh, I love this question. So, something that I do normally do is cook, but I cook way more in the off season. I'm reading more. I'm trying to read at least like 1 or 2 books a month, which to some might be like, oh, that's nothing. But for me,
No.
I think it's major to read like
It
once
is
a
major.
month. Yeah.
Huge.
I fall asleep when I read. So
Yeah.
if I can get through a book in 3 months, I'm like, good job, Abby.
Right.
Same.
So I'm
Same.
doing that. And I'm also trying to, so my parents, a lot of people know are Nigerian and we're Igbo. So I'm teaching myself the language as well. So I find more time being able to do that in the off season too, which I love.
Oh, teach us a word.
Amazing.
I mean, you can say hello, which means kedu. You can just say kedu.
Kadu. I
Yeah.
can do that.
That's
Kadu.
hello.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, we want to do a vibe check. I have so many CBA questions that we'll
go.
get to. But first one is like vibe check in terms of on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being not so great, 10 being vibe is great. How are we feeling at this moment with the CBA negotiations?
I mean, I think that this is like Nneka answering as someone who has been through 2 previous negotiations, not necessarily perhaps like a younger player. So for me, I would say vibe check, I would give it like a 6.5.
Okay.
Okay.
I
That
thought it was
pause,
gonna
I
be
was
lower.
like, oh God.
I thought it was going to be lower.
I mean,
I'll take a
I can
6.5.
like the elaboration of it would probably make a little bit more sense only because this is my 3rd time around doing it, and
Yeah.
I can kind of recognize patterns and I can recognize differences. I understand where we're entering new territory. And the 6.5 isn't necessarily like, oh, the vibe is that we're going to get things done and 3.5 vibes later. Like, no, that's not necessarily what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we're in new territory. We've been prepared to be here. And I feel more than halfway confident of where we're at, comparatively speaking, in the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
So like in a week or 2, it could be like 7, and or it can be like 4.
Right.
It's
Right.
quite subjective. It's a little bit more of like perhaps a vibe forecast than a vibe check, maybe.
How would you compare this moment to those other inflection points?
The impact that we're witnessing internally is major. I think it's going to be something that a lot of current and for sure future players perhaps reference moving forward. I think how we're communicating, how we're engaging, how we're understanding the business with whatever information that we do have, and also being women who obviously I think are more adept to understanding business simply because we've always had to have a fallback plan, so we couldn't just enter the world without knowing what was going on.
Word.
Yes.
So like
Abby
having
snapping.
that group of women here today in this eruption of women's sports, to me, I feel really good about where we're at. I really do think that we're in such an important time, even if it's not perfect.
Because it's a collective bargaining agreement, you're bargaining with all the other WNBA players. So you all have to have this sense of trust with each other. And I'm curious, because trust has kind of clearly been strained in terms of the relationship between you all and the league. How hard is it for you personally to negotiate when there's been some sort of emotional fallout and broken trust in those rooms?
Yeah, I'll say that is probably the biggest challenge because we do our best to remain in lockstep together as, a players association. But still, it doesn't mean that everyone's experience is the same.
Right.
So there could be a collective distrust. There could be varying experiences with what that trust is. But at the end of the day, like you said, everyone is a partner in this, specifically the players. So you have to hear everybody out. And I think, I know we do that great as a players association with our union staff, advisors, and counsel. But I think a part of the negotiation is also trying to figure out how this still developing relationship between the players and the league can evolve. So it's almost like two things are kind of growing or changing, shall I say, at once. You're trying to get the CBA done, but then the CBA is also revealing the nature of a relationship that has been fractured for so long. But I'm a hopeful person. I like to believe that things will work out, but I also believe that you have to get through it. You have to go through it to get to it. The process also almost foreshadows what can happen in the future, how things can work in the future, how things unfold. And I want badly for this league and this union to be better for whatever comes out of these CBA negotiations.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's one of the hardest parts of all of this, having also lived through a lot of CBA negotiations, Abs and I, with U.S. soccer, because similar to, it seems, and tell me if I'm wrong, Nneka, but similar to our situation was there was no trust with U.S. soccer because we felt like we were always an afterthought. They had never wanted to move on anything unless you just shook them to the point of they had to move. And so you're also fighting that undercurrent because you're trying to keep all the players on board, right, and listen to them, but you're also having to fight against that current of, well, there's already a built-in lack of trust. And that was the hardest thing, I think, when you look at in you in a leadership position, is getting the players to eventually trust that this is going to be something that the WNBA, the league, is putting its best foot forward as well, which is hard.
Definitely agree. I would definitely agree.
Yeah.
I think that's, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the experience for many, if not all women who are in league, and, I don't know. I think, you kind of sparked something when you said, trusting the process. Maybe the trust in the league won't ever be 100%, but if you can trust in this process, perhaps that can help rebuild something, and for us, what's most important is trusting in the power of the collective for us. I think that is something we can lean more heavily on than the trust of who's across the table. And I really do feel that we're at a point where players not only get it, but they want to act upon their understanding. And we're doing that as best as we can as we try and have everyone's value being reflected in this new agreement.
You're not just thinking about yourself, right? Like, you are thinking about, in a lot of ways, the last player on the last roster in the WNBA to make sure that they're also taken care of. And this isn't just about salaries, right? This is beyond that, and the rev share. Like, what are the quieter but more critical issues in this CBA? Things that matter deeply to the players but don't maybe always get the same kind of attention that you guys are seeking.
You have players that are texting me every day asking about how are we going to be able to rent cars, and how are we going to be able to transfer our belongings from home to home? Are they going to cover these fees? Is there going to be a realtor available to help me? There's just so many different logistics that we, for a long time, haven't had to think about. And that's one very tiny example. But it really factors into what it means to be a pro athlete. If I'm worrying about where I need to live, I'm not in the gym, and I'm getting signed to play. And so doing whatever it takes for us to be able to perform at a high level means having the resources necessary to be able to do that.
Can you explain the revenue share component of it for people who may not understand how, for example, NBA is structured, and comparatively how you all want the rev share to be structured with WNBA? Because I know this is a huge sticking issue.
Yeah. So, I mean, men's leagues, and we'll compare the NBA, you know, they have a percent revenue share based off of whatever revenue they generate. Of course, there are certain expenses that are excluded at a certain point in time, but the way that they're paid is also reflected in how the revenue is grown. So every year, their share can be a certain percentage based on how much the NBA makes. That's like, to me, I feel like that is a very Cliff Notes way of explaining it.
Thank you. Yes.
So ultimately, they have that percentage that works for them and is also a fair percentage, which is closer to 50%. So
That the players get.
that the players get from the revenue that the
Correct.
NBA makes. Yes. So for us, we're looking to have a model very similar to that. We're not necessarily saying, give us exactly what they have, because we also understand that the business needs to grow. But we are looking for a similar fair revenue split to where you can't tell us that every year, this is how much you're going to get, which is currently our system. We have a fixed revenue, fixed percentage that stays the same over time, and the percentage of that does not grow. So we're looking to grow with the business.
That's right, because it should correlate. It should correlate. If the business rises, that percentage that goes to the players who are the business should get paid that. Sorry, keep going.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So that's really what we're negotiating for. And we are currently sitting somewhere comparatively. The men are near 50, we're closer to 10. So we're looking for a percentage that is much further away from 10. But in negotiations, we also understand the business is still growing, but we do want to ensure that we get a fair share of the revenue, especially prior to things taken off the top that is now distributed to us.
Okay, so the January 9th extension has delayed the expansion draft, right? What is the risk of this not getting done in time? And I'm just going to add this in. Is there a real possibility of an actual work stoppage, either a strike or a lockout that's never happened before? What are the chances of those two things?
So, I mean, we wanted to extend to give ourselves an adequate amount of time for us to be able to get a good deal done. Players don't want to feel rushed. Our PA staff and counsel and advisors do not want to feel rushed. We want to make sure that what the players are understanding and asking for as the negotiations evolve is something that is being brought to the table in the proposal. And so we felt that allowing for enough time for us to get that done can get us closer to a deal, albeit it's later than what we expected. But I think it's a process that can hopefully nurture the relationship and the negotiations in a way that a good deal can get done. Now, in any CBA negotiation, I believe, and in my experience, I think there's always a possibility of work stoppage because the agreement has ended, you know? And so as you progress through negotiations, you try to be prepared for anything. We are not lost on the fact that this is taking longer than expected, but the goal is to get a good deal done. And so with the reality that there could be work stoppage, the players understand we are moving forward in good faith to ensure that that's not something that we're striving for. But if it does happen, it's not surprising in the history of sports, but it would be a first time that we would see this in the WNBA.
Where do you guys all meet? Do you meet online? Do you meet in person? Like,
that's a great
how
question.
much? I'm starting to go into my like panic mode because it's getting to January 9th. I'm like, are you meeting tomorrow?
I like to
Can
say
you
that,
meet
like,
today?
that's actually kind of how our meetings are. So we have scheduled. So they have scheduled, of course, negotiating meetings, and any player, specifically on the CBA committee, if they're in town, they can go if they want. We've had a couple players go in on their own. We've had meetings where our EC and CBA committee were there. But generally, I would say when it comes to like the player reps, the CBA committee, and the executive committee, we're meeting via Zoom. I would say anywhere between like 2 and 3 times a week. And it's not necessarily pre-scheduled. It's kind of like what you just said, like, is everyone available to hop on a call? And so we have phenomenal leadership. Everyone is almost always available to hop on the call. There'll be times when we say, hey, all players hop on this call.
So Glennon is terrible at keeping track of her contacts. Every time I open the drawer, I'll see one lonely lens and think, yes, future Glennon, is she going to be able to handle this? Spoiler, probably not. I don't know. That's why I finally switched us to 1-800-CONTACTS. And honestly, I wish I had done it years ago. They've made the whole process unbelievably easy. The exact contacts my doctor's prescribes, delivered right to our door. Fast, free shipping on every order. And if something's off, they have free returns, free exchanges, and even free torn lens replacements. It's like that they've thought of every annoying thing about wearing contacts and essentially fixed it. And the big one for me, they're the only major retailer that lets you renew your contact lens prescription online with their express exam. So you don't have to go to the doctor. It takes less than 10 minutes and you get a doctor issued prescription you can use to buy your contacts. You can renew an expired prescription if you see clearly with your current lenses. For someone like Glennon or you, strong prescription, easily annoyed by errands, 1-800-CONTACTS has genuinely made our lives easier. Getting contacts doesn't have to be a hassle. Let 1-800-CONTACTS get you the contact lenses you need right now. Order online at 1-800-CONTACTS.com or download the free 1-800-CONTACTS app today.
This show is sponsored by MIDI Health. Thank you, MIDI Health. And Abs, I'll be honest, I used to think that I had my body down to a science, right? I knew what I needed, what it could handle, how to get it back on track. And then life threw at me perimenopause and menopause. And suddenly I was like, what is happening? Why did someone change the settings on me? I don't get it. Like, temperature settings changed, everything. I had all these symptoms, these questions, a lot of fog and no clear places to turn. And that's why MIDI Health becomes this absolutely game changer, because they're actually bringing real expertise to the phase of life. Most women are expected to just like figure it out.
So annoying.
Yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't even know what the hell this is. How am I supposed to figure it out?
Exactly.
With MIDI, you can meet online with clinicians who specialize in perimenopause and menopause, and they can actually explain like what's happening, why you're feeling that way, and how, most importantly, you can feel better. They support everything from hormone health to sleep to mood to energy and weight management, and it's all through personalized care that's covered by insurance.
So good.
Because here's what we know. This stage of life isn't ending. So you got to wrap your arms around it, party people. It's a transition that we're going to handle just fine. And you deserve care that meets you right where you are. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Yes. Yep. Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
Okay, let's be honest. Most bras were designed by people who have never worn one. Okay? Yes. It was founded by women who were done settling for just good enough. Yeah. Okay? These bras, Jules, actually solve real fit problems. Extra lift, no spillage, no digging, just comfort that lasts all day. And they're made with high quality materials and even thermoregulating fabrics. So, Jules, you know us, we're getting towards that menopause.
I was just going to say, I am
us
so
the ability to
appreciative
stay cool.
of that. Yes, thank you.
Stay cool. And did you know that they have 60 plus sizes from AA to H, including the half cup sizes? Because, you know, our boobs are just not the same size. You usually have one that's bigger than the other. It's like so weird, but that's just the way it is.
My sister calls me
invented
for lopsided.
But they invented this for us in betweeners, right? So seriously, half cups. How has nobody thought of this before?
I don't know.
It seems
Brilliant.
kind of unfair that it's taken this long. Thank you, Third Love, for thinking of all of our boob sizes. Okay, so mine, the ones that I'm reaching for without even thinking, they are that good. And if you can see me out in the wild, I am 100% wearing one, and you can't see it because it's under my clothes. So I'm just going to tell you about it here instead. I promise I'm wearing them. Stop settling for average bras. Get solutions made for your body. Get $15 off your first purchase at thirdlove.com with code podcast15. That is podcast15.
Thank you for not flashing us.
I could literally listen to you talk about this for hours. We don't have that much time. I do want to switch gears, and we wish you guys all the best, and we're going to keep covering it on this show, how things kind of unfold with the CBA negotiations with the WNBA and you all. But, you know, we're kind of pro player over here, and we want you guys to get more than more than you're even bargaining for. But we also want to just congratulate you on being named the first player of the new global league, Project B, and want to talk about it because it's kind of revolutionary, and want to know like what intrigued you about this new league. We've heard that you're going to be getting compensated more, you're getting equity. Like, tell us why you chose to go and be a part of Project B.
I am someone who has always kind of been aware of the world. My parents are Nigerian. I've traveled since I was young. I really did love my time playing overseas as a professional women's basketball player. I had to stop playing overseas, not by choice, but because of the pandemic. And I just felt like this was a perfect opportunity to be able to kind of rekindle that love of the global infatuation of the game. But then also, it's providing me an opportunity to continue to compete at the highest level. That's always been so incredibly important to me. I love the aspect of getting the best players in the world. I'm excited. I never thought that I would be playing this long, but here we are, folks.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. I loved it because when I saw much higher compensation, equity, to me, your signing felt very intentional, as it's the middle of CBA negotiations on top of it. And whether it was or not, I loved it. What message do you want this to send to WNBA?
Oh, I mean, I'm not really sure if I thought about sending any type of message to anyone outside the fact that I'm with Project B and I'm someone who loves playing basketball at the highest level. I do love the equity component. You know, I think that message has already been quite well established in Unrivaled. And so I feel like continuing to be a part of that level of innovation around how players are valued is incredibly important. And that's a message to anybody.
How in the heck have you started every single, is that true, that stat?
Every single game for 13 years?
Is that true?
That was my first time hearing that. I mean, I guess it's true.
Did we just make that up, or is that true?
It might be. I just tried to make myself available to play. That's all.
Amazing.
Wait a second. You don't know if you've started every game of your career?
I don't.
I actually know that I didn't start a few at the beginning, and I didn't start a few at the end, but I started all of them in the middle, but not all of them.
Nneka,
but enough
that
of
is
them,
amazing.
I know for sure.
I mean, just even if it's close to every single game, the consistency of that. Come on.
Thanks. I mean,
how did you do that?
It. I just try to make myself available to play. I don't know how else.
Whether I have to limp with one leg through it all.
It's happened. I know you should have done it too. It's happened.
Yeah, we've all done it. Okay, our final question before we let you go. When are you starting your campaign for president, as in POTUS president, right? Because
I'm ready.
You already are Madam President with the union, right? 2028 feels doable.
Come on,
Nneka,
we
we
need it.
trust.
We need
It's
it.
doable. Nneka,
Oh
we
my
trust. Let's go. Let's go.
You guys.
Seriously.
What's
Nneka,
your
thank
official
you.
statement? What is your official statement, Nneka Ogwumike?
It's one thing for me to come in as president of the Players Association because no one wanted that job.
Yeah.
Now, comparatively
lot.
speaking, I feel like too many people want the job we're talking about now. And
Right.
we need to make sure that the right people in place. I mean, I've been asked that by my family members, more so for like
see?
local seats, but I don't know. I just feel like, actually, interestingly, I don't know, this might be my Subway take, but interestingly enough, I find that there's certain parameters that come with entering that space that I don't have to worry about as a public figure right now. And I know that there's different ways to contribute and to make things better and to affect change. But I have found, especially in the growing atmosphere of women's sports, how incredibly impactful like me saying one thing can be.
That's
and
right.
I didn't have to run to do anything. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
And so I know that that's a great, great, great privilege and something that can be abused. So it would be interesting to know how that could, maybe not change if you kind of take that into another space that has these guardrails, or for some and for others.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
know, yeah.
I love
so-
that. You're going to make a bigger difference in the sports world too. So I can't. Politics is so icky to me. So stay in the
No,
sports.
I am not giving. No, I'm not giving up on this. I am not. We need the
wouldn't
good
have you.
people
I
to
think
move
icky
over to
too.
politics. Is
Yeah,
the
it's
problem,
icky.
right? No one wants to go because it's icky. But if you bring the good people over, maybe it's less icky.
Yeah,
maybe.
But here's what I
Maybe.
think. Here's what I
Yeah.
think. I think women's sports is one of the most political things that we participate in.
Yes.
We are making people look at women do powerful things, and slowly but surely, I think generationally, it will make the younger generation of conservatives see women differently. I truly believe that's I truly
Absolutely.
believe that's happening. So
Absolutely.
I love that.
I agree. I just think this is my personal thing.
she's still fighting for you, Nneka.
You
She's
still
fighting
should
for
make
it.
the transition because the first female, I wish I could say the next female president of the United States, the first female president of the United States, I think will be a female athlete. And
sure.
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying, I will
she
run
will
your
have
campaign.
played
I will
sport.
do whatever
Yeah.
you need. So
She
I'm
will
here
I'm
for
not
you.
mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
And I put you on my short list, so I'm here for you.
Well, Maura
appreciate
Healey is the governor of Massachusetts, and she played basketball at Harvard with my sister. And I think that she's gonna have a run in her in the next 10 years.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
Yeah. I'm calling it.
Okay.
Call it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Called it.
So do I. I like that too.
Yeah.
Nneka,
we
you're
wish
the best.
you
Thank
nothing
you.
but the best. Thank you for all you're doing in this space, all you're doing in so many different areas that just are, I think, inspiring so many women around the world, not just here in the United States. So thanks for what you do.
Thank you too. And also I want to say thank you too for keeping people grounded in this evolving world of sports, especially for women, because you know, there's a lot of newness, but people still got to do their homework. People still got to read a little bit, you know, research a little
Yeah.
bit. So I appreciate that. And, you know, I always say those things hoping people don't say, well, she's an old hag. No, like, we
No,
gotta,
yeah.
you know, we gotta stay grounded. You know, we didn't
Yeah.
just come out of here from nowhere. There's a lot of people's backs that we're standing on. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you two, both in what you did on the field and what you're doing now. So thank you.
Aw. Thanks.
Well, we love you and keep crushing it. We do this one thing here at Welcome to the Party is we do a little party pose for our
Oh.
socials.
Yes.
So
Okay.
just do whatever kind of pose that you want.
Okay.
On three? Oh, is that yours, Alex? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
That was my Nneka pose. That was like a
That was me, like, we will be strong. Nneka 2028. Make this poster.
amazing. I freaking love that woman.
Yeah.
Like her
Solid.
her solid confidence, but like not arrogant and humble, but like also like it gives me like a I got this energy. Like you're not gonna mess with me. Like the paradox of this woman and the way that she approaches things, and I don't know, I want to be friends with Nneka. I want to be friends with her. Can we be friends, Nneka?
She is rad. She is so rad.
She's awesome.
And the commitment it takes to keep an entire league together of players. To your point in the interview of like, you're fighting for the largest moment in the history of this league, and what that entails in terms of the star players, but you can't forget the last player on the last place team and what that means to them too.
Yeah,
and I think she balances that really well.
But also, Jules, you remember this. Not every player sees things the same way. They're coming at it from different perspectives. So you think, I mean, how many times did this happen? You're having the conversation with the lawyer, and the lawyer had the conversation with U.S. Soccer, and then that conversation gets back to you, and then you then, with the lawyer, talk about it with the team. And you're thinking, oh, I think we're going to be able to do this. I think this is going to be okay. And you talk about the team, and there's that one player who says, well, what about this? And it's like, oh, you're right. Shit. Now we got to go all the way back and go through the entire process. It's just like this really like long and arduous process. It's just incredible knowing it's somebody like Nneka who's not going to get beaten down or tired with the process. Because it's like the process, enjoying the process as much as you possibly can through it is, I think, probably a thing that I never learned. I was like, let's get this over with.
I loved her answer as well when I said, how do you balance the urgency of getting a deal done with getting it right? And
so good.
You remember her answer was communication.
So
and she's
good.
right. Like, to your point, like you have all these people that need to be informed. And if you are not communicating effectively, then all of it breaks down quickly.
That's right.
And she's right. It is. A lot of it is also just trusting in who your leadership is and that they're going to have the best of intentions for all involved.
That's right.
Which is something with Carla too by your side. Overback, our captain forever was easy because she was just so salt of the earth that everyone trusted and loved.
That's right.
What we were doing. So brings back a lot of memories, but I'm
really
pleased
love that conversation. I think she's wonderful. I want her to come back on. She should be a co-host. I want her to be a co-host.
Sorry, Jules, you're out. Peace out.
Let's bring her on. Let's test her out. Come on. The party people would love her. Take my spot. I don't even care.
I don't even care.
Julie and Nneka can just do this together. I love her that much.
All right, party people, don't forget to subscribe to the Welcome to the Party YouTube channel and click that little bell icon so you know when you get those updates.
And if you take a second or a minute, we would appreciate... What?
I'm going. While you're saying it, I'm going.
Where are you going?
Apple Podcast. What are we at?
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to be close.
Check it. Just take a second, and we would appreciate it to either rate, leave a comment, and if you want to comment, if you would prefer Nneka to take my place or Julie's place, we would understand. There would be no hard feelings.
We're fine.
Also,
you just can't ever replace Kinger.
Exactly.
Subscribe.
She
is a standing spot.
So when you leave your comments or rate, you can also subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And also be sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Welcome to the Party Show, where Julie, Billy, and I will bring the party straight to your feed.
Y'all, we're at, drum roll please, we've been trying to get over 1,000 by Christmas.
We're not even
I thought
900.
we could do it by Thanksgiving.
No.
We're 856.
Yep.
Okay. And we're at 4.9 out of 5 stars. And so I was like, wait, what happened? We were all 5 stars. Okay. So I went back and there's a 1 star in there, right? And it says best podcast. Love the podcast. Would love if you could interview Michelle Kang. And that was it. But best podcast.
Mistakenly...
Love the podcast. They gave us 1 star.
I'll take this 4.9.
I think they forgot to punch their stars in.
Well, no, I think that they didn't know what was happening. I think we just have a person who doesn't know tech,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what
fine.
I mean.
We'll
That's
take
what I
this
mean. They don't know
4.9.
tech.
We'll
Yeah,
take
we'll
the
take the
4.9 on a
That's
mistake.
okay. That's okay. So please, people are writing all these great comments. We look at all of them. Let's get over 1,000 by Christmas. If you go in, that's only 150 people, y'all. We can get there. We can get there. Bring
Go
it
in
in.
and rate again. Jules, USA on 3.
Let us know what you think about Nneka for 2028. I don't know. I think party people
The president
will
of
be on board with
POTUS?
that. Yeah, POTUS 2028.
Okay, USA on
I think party people will be on board. Do it. Count us in.
USA on 3. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Party is an independent production brought to you by Treat Media. Treat Media makes art for humans who want to stay human. Silver Tribe is our production partner, and you can also watch our full conversations on the Welcome to the Party YouTube channel and follow us at Welcome to the Party Show on Instagram and TikTok.
Party people, the party is officially